Namaskar, and thank you for joining today. And happy Ram Navami to all of you. And thank you for supporting us in a big way. Very, very grateful. Today, I'm going to talk about debunk the Western conceptions of UFO, unidentified flying objects. And I was listening to many, many people uh, who have been, and a lot of videos on UFOs, unidentified flying objects. रामनवमी की आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. मेरा पुस्तक जरूर पढ़िएगा, वन एरो वन किल. सतोलॉजी पे सर्च करेंगे, यू विल फाइंड इट. इफ यू सर्च माई बुक, like search Sattology on Amazon, you'll see One Arrow One Kill. And from kapoth.in, you'll see the global footprint of Ramayana for India. Please read that. You will have a totally new idea about Sri Ram. Sri Ram, how Sri Ram was chivalrous, good planner, and how the Sugriva went through every single part of the world to find out about, to search for Sita. The Sugriv search, I've done many videos on this show in last few Sundays I've done, where I've documented each and every place where Sugriva went and searched for Sita all over the world. And and now moving into today's topic, we all know Sattology means science of truth, study of truth. Don't use the word mythology for our history. Ramayana, Mahabharat history, don't use the word mythology. Because when you use the word mythology, you actually telling everybody that Ramayana is not a fact. Like me, there are many people who have proved that, and I have independently proved, everyone has independently proved that Ramayana is a historical document. It has history about this planet when all of us were not there. Valmiki has written it. Beautiful, so much lessons that you learn from Ramayana that you cannot simply count on your fingers. रामायण को जरूर पढ़िए. अगर आपको समय मिले मेरी पुस्तक देख सकते हैं, वन एरो वन किल. और भारत में है द ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट ऑफ रामायण. वो बहुत ही पॉपुलर बुक है, और एंड द प्रिंट ऑफ इंडिया इज बेटर देन द प्रिंट इन द यूएसए इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिटी. सो उसको जरूर पढ़िए, ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट ऑफ रामायण. आज मैं जो आपको मैं जो आपको बताने वाला हूँ आज, विच विल बी रियली शॉक्ड. रामायण हैज मोर देन 4,000 references of Vimana. 4,000 references of Vimana. So Vimana means plane which flies in the air, and the biggest one which everyone knows about is Pushpak. Pushpak Viman, everybody knows that Pushpak Viman was 7-storied high. In my book, I've given reference of it, and where Pushpak Viman, how big it is, and how small it can become, and how big it can become, and how fast it can go. You know, so the technology of Viman is very common, very very common in Veda. And you'll be shocked to know nowadays people reject it when they read the Vedas or any of the histories, Mahabharat, Ramayana. They reject. They say, "Oh, maybe it's just mythology. How could they fly?" They have no. Actually, today's technology is inferior, because if you're today's technology is all about how much fast you're moving, so that you can glide on the air, and the wing shape makes it aerodynamic, so it lifts it up, and then as you reduce the speed, it starts coming down. That's today's technology. But most of the Vimana, if you see in built by Vishwakarma, Vishwakarma is the engineer of the Devata. So it's very common for people to travel. It's very common. Like the great example is Parshuram. He travels all over the world. He lives in Mahindra Parvat today. That is his residence, permanent residence, which is in South India, towards Kerala. And Kerala and Tamil Nadu border. Mostly, I think it's in falls into Tamil Nadu, but that's where Mahindra Parshuram lives. There are so many references in every yagya. Like for example, the uh, when there was a fight between uh, when Arjun is fighting with Kripacharya, Kripacharya, the 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 all the devtas come to witness, because Kripacharya is a great fighter, one of the greatest fighters India has seen. We have not, or Bharat, actually the world has seen, you can say, because the word India was not there during that time. The whole planet is called Bharat, though. So the whole world has seen. And Devtas are watching that. Devtas are watching the fight between Yudhishthir and Bhishma. And then Devtas are also watching. So there are so many references. I'm going to show you some of the planes which are purported to be regularly seen. Just give me a second. I'm going to share that screen with you, and you will be really shocked to see. Just give me a second, which is okay. Somehow I'm not able to share that, but let me just try again. One more time, I'll try. Yeah. Share screen. Uh, got it. Let me just do that. Hold on. And Vimana. I opened that page, but somehow I'm not able to share because of some settings, maybe. But I'm going to share now. These are the publicly recorded documents. Okay, so I'm not making it like any. These are the documents that recorded by the other people, not by me. Share screen, Chrome tab, and share. I hope you are able to see my screen. If you can share, if you can you see that? Okay. These are the images of different type of Vimana being shown. Now, there are many reports of the US Air Force recording these videos, US Air Force recording, and I'm just shocked that these are the photographs which no other Air Force has recorded other than the US Air Force. Other maybe other Air Forces has also recorded, but people are not surprised. I will also take you, so let me just go deep into one of them. Okay, so this is, and with due copyright, this is because I'm showing their website, and so I'm not claiming any copyright on any of those things. Mm. So like, for example, this particular article by somebody who has written, great job they have done. They have shown a floating, this is general images, and they have even gone to the extent of creating a vertical map on how this is whole thing is working from Shakuna Vimana. And uh, and Shakuna Vimana, many Vimanas are like that. And the point is, now if you look at uh, the point is, I hope you're not able to see that. Hold on, please. Okay, I need to share a screen again, and it's difficult because my one of the tab is not working. You know, so now you can see that. Okay, so this is the Shakuna Vimana they have shown, and in this Vimana, this is the picture which often comes up to be. Now the and most of these Vimana, our Shastra explain, they are the Devata. So people, generally the West has assumed that there is nobody, no one is there except them. You know. So can you see it more clearly? Somebody is asking me. Yes. So some people assume that there is nobody else living. That's again a Abrahamic problem, because they have already preached and convinced themselves that they are the only ones living in the planet. But the most important, the more information is comes from Ramayana and Mahabharat and our Purana, that it is very common for devtas to travel. They are given that permission. So first of all, most of the, like, if you watch the Hollywood movies, most of the Hollywood movies will show you that how they're saving the world, Planet of Apes, and goes on and on and on and on. So many movies are there that the Americans are the only one who are saving the world. But there are so many references that most of these people, like for example, let me show you the the Google Earth map of Amazon. Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to show you the ancient buildings of Amazon. And I'm doing a live search for you, just last live search. Now this is again a an image. Uh, Now we will show if you see this particular site, uh, I'm going to make it little in the center. The images are very small because I'm showing a live site. So you can see this small artwork. Let me just see some other images here. Okay, this is the ancient work. Yeah, yeah. Do you see that now? Okay, again. Do you see this right now? Do you see this sign? Okay. Image is small, very small. Like this is the Amazon rainforest inside. You know, the inside the if you look at it, the inside the forest, they're showing this way. Ancient origins. Now I'll share again because just so that you get an idea what I'm talking about. Just share an idea because the attempt is generally to tell everyone that there is nothing existing abroad. No, nothing existing, nothing came from outside, and we have nuclear weapons to destroy the planets and destroy things like that. Totally false information. And and these planes are the vehicles of the devatas who visit here. Just understand, all ancient cultures, all native cultures considered the considered that the there are regular visitors from other planets who give us knowledge and who give us culture and who train us. Very common knowledge. Like for example, Devata, Surya, Indra, and Chandra. From Chandra came Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was Chandra's son, Soma's son. And then we all know Dharmaraj became son was Yudhishthir, and Vayudev's son was Bhim. Indra's son was Arjun, and Ashwini Kumar's son was Nakul and Sahadev. Very common information. When Sri Ram came to earth, today is Ram Navami. आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. और today in the Ram Navami day, Putreshti Yagya, in the Putreshti Yagya of Maharaj Dashrath, so many devtas came from all over the world and they visited. Not a very hidden information. Not a single Hindu is surprised. No commonsensical people are surprised. Natives are not surprised. Nobody is surprised, except few people who want to be surprised. But generally, nobody is surprised. So let me share that screen with you again. I have to share that again, and I सबसे माफी चाहता हूँ क्योंकि कभी कभी ये टेक्नोलॉजी से you know how it works. You know, ये देखिए, दिख रहा है आपको? ये देखिए आप इधर. So ये सैटेलाइट इमेज है Amazon फॉरेस्ट का, and you'll be shocked to see circles and Amazon forest. अभी if I go by Ramayan, so Peru में, if you go Peru में Candelabra mountain है, and I proved in my book that's a Yagya Vedika symbol on Candelabra mountain. You can see that today also, and that is available. That is the information which is very commonly known, that this sign was made by Deva. Now in our Shastra, Purva Disha, the eastern direction, is is the very worship direction because Surya rises from there. Surya comes around the Meru Parvat and goes south and then comes back towards the west, toward Astachal, and goes north. And the western direction is for the Varun and the Devta, Varun and Vayu, both live in the western direction. So you can, even today you can see that the spiritual side of the planet is the east direction today because of Surya. Very commonly known information. So we are taking the sunlight, but we are saying there is no devta, and there are explosions happening in the sun, and therefore the sun is hot. That is a completely that is a description which is a post-mortem analysis, but they do not answer the question, why is it burning in the first place, why there is no other star. And then you hear from the western academics that all the stars are burning and there's many stars bigger than the Surya. But why not they producing heat? Stars are visible during the day also. Why not? If they're much bigger than the sun. So all these are theories they've come up with. This is not a reality. In our Shastra, everything is correctly mentioned. Like if you read Bhagavad Gita, what is Chandra referred to as? Nakshatra. Nakshatra means like it is a special object in the sky. Now, what does Shastra say? Bhagavad Puran says. Bhagavad Puran says Surya is the only one which is producing light. Everyone else is reflecting, and every other star in the sky is is actually reflecting Surya Prabha. But the scientist version is totally different. But Vedas have not changed. They are the same information, and gradually science comes to that conclusion. Why? Because we are trying to understand from our brain and we're wasting our time. And I am not against scientific, I'm myself an engineer. So I'm not wasting anybody's time by not going against science because the Vedas are the science. But we have to try to understand that there is some information given in Veda which has never been proved wrong. Never. The directional movement of the sun, directional movement of setting of the sun, where it is setting, exactly you see in the sky, you can observe it. So if that is correct, and the heat and light aspect of sun is correct, why will the information about Vimana will be wrong? That's a question to ask ourselves. I showed you this point, this one image I showed you. Let me just show you also other images. So I will cut it out, and I'll also show this image. If you can see it loudly, see it where? Does anyone think that this image is a naturally made image? You know, natural? No, it is not a natural image. This image is purposely constructed, and this is not in India. This is, we are talking about some other place, Amazon forest, and we are seeing from the sky. It clearly shows a place where it was meant for some vehicle to land, some vehicle to come down and land over there. There are so many images like that in Amazon forest, because in Ramayana, again I'm coming back to Ramayana makes a lot of references on such images. It makes a lot of references. So let me also take you to other UFOs which are being talked about. The many types of UFOs and temples which are made in the image of UFOs. And there is a very interesting image came up with one of the websites worked by our friends. So I will just show that, and nobody has come up with that kind of version. And these people, I know them personally, and if they're watching, I'll say that I'm taking your permission before I show them anything. So please let me know. Just give me a second. And this is the copyright information, so all the credit goes to My India My Glory. So if they are watching it, so they need to know that I've given them the reference. And if you can see this, and so this Stonehenge, and I've never seen a better accurate version where this particular author shows the image of A plane landing on Stonehenge. Plane landing on Stonehenge. विमान Stonehenge के ऊपर उतर रहा है. Now, if you have visited Stonehenge, I have visited many times. It's in Salisbury in UK. Salisbury, if you go, you can see that over there. And it is generally people say that the Salisbury is a place for calculating time for the moon movement. That is also truthful because Chandra, UK has a Hindu history, and I proved that in my book Gold, Glory, and God. And the entire Europe has a Hindu history. In fact, 2016, 2017, Sushma Swaraj was the first Indian politicians to acknowledge it. I had a good fortune of meeting her when she was alive, and very amazing personality and scientific mind. And she's the first one to recognize Romani as Indian heritage. They're Indians. They look like white skin, and many Indians are also white skin. So, but the point is, not going by the skin color. This is the first Indian politician to recognize Romani people as Hindu origin, as Hindus, and they are the original Europeans, because even though they just said they migrated from India, everybody else also migrated from India to Europe. They have to accept it one day or later. Better accept it today than after 20 years or 30 years, because their genes are same as Indians. So it's not the is a reverse Aryan migration is truth. It's a fact, not they came from West, because Arya means people who believe or live according to Veda. That means Arya. So anybody who does that can be an Arya. Arya means a civilized person, like today we say gentleman or a lady. That's a Arya or Arya means. Now this information is so accurate because there is no other purpose of Stonehenge. Because for moon movement you just need a pillar. You don't need a circumference. So even in the UK such proofs are there, but they cannot see it. You know why? Because they think that they are going to decide what they want to see. It's just like a child wants a chocolate, but he wants to have a chocolate in a certain form. And then if the parents give him a chocolate in that form, make a make a small bear, chocolate in the form of a bear, and give him, the child is very happy. That's exactly the Western problem is that it's sooner they have recorded it. There are so many F-16s, F-18s, and F-35s of the US Air Force have recorded UFOs in many cities in 60s and 70s, and even Area 51. Some people say those are these are. I don't believe anything until I see. Somehow, somewhere you use Pratyaksha Praman, but they say Area 51 has a lot of remnants of aliens, and they show very unique head of it and small body. All those references and descriptions are given in Shastra. There are different types of body forms all over the world, and these are the people who visit from other planets who have advanced more in science than Earth. Now, how many of you know that the Sutal Loka is much more advanced planet in terms of material advancement than even Swargaloka? And it's very common they are searching for other people just like we are searching. So only one country in this entire planet searches for these things, and that is USA. Rest everybody is not searching. Why? Because most of the native people know it's a fact. We don't get surprised if a description of Vimana is there, and we also know that a Vimana is mentioned many times in Mahabharat Ramayan, more than 6,000 references, 6,000 references all over the planet. you know but so ultimately what we come to conclusion that most of these American universities and researchers, like I always ask this question: why did you not go after 1969 again back to the moon? And I'm not reigniting the moon controversy, but there is no man-moon mission, moon on the moon since 1969. Some people they come up with all the numbers. Yes, there are many. No, there are not. There have been. I have confirmed it from the NASA record. They never went after 1969 because the Cold War was won after US fakely published the pictures from the Hollywood. But I won't get into that. Today is not the topic. So we'll stay away from that controversy. So the main reason I took up this topic today is exactly what we are referring to as that the Vimana theory is very common. Very Vimana are the Devatas do come to this planet from other planets, but nobody has the right, because Devatas control this planet. Nobody can attack this planet, nobody can destroy. The only Rakshas community which had plans or which could have destroyed this planet was destroyed by Arjun. Arjun destroyed Nivat Kavach. In my new book, I'm covering that incident in detail. So, and also the there are many references where the Devatas proactively act against possible invaders. So no country and no human being should think that we are the only ones. Like the Abrahamism cults, they always say man has a dominion over matter. It is not true. Vedas reject that thought completely. Isha vasyam idam sarvam yat kinchi jagatyam jagat. This world is made for Isha, for the purpose of serving Isha. It is made for that purpose. So we have to stop getting into this Western propaganda again and again. Okay, we may say that okay, the Western world has created so many plane factories and all those things, which anybody can do that. Indians can do that. Most of the Indians work over there. Everyone has the designs. I wish to see an Indian made plane, passenger plane, which they're gradually working using more advanced technologies, just the way our ancestors have used it. But that one day I want to see that. But yes, we must give credit to what they have done. They have created very safe planes, and which is we all give credit. We fly and we say thank you. And I'm a citizen of this country, and I can always say thank you to Boeing. And I always prefer Boeing planes over Airbus somehow, some of them, because they're more mechanical. But generally, the point is, there are life existing beyond us. Man doesn't have dominion over matter, and we have to respect that the whole thing about alien, maybe you do not know, but I know from reading from Ramayana Mahabharata, it's a fact of life that other people come to this planet. And there is a very interesting theory about story from Vishwakarma. Now Vishwakarma makes buildings. Vishwakarma is the engineer of the Deva, but he creates weapons and he also creates planes. So Kubera has personal plane. Many great personalities have personal planes, and they are regularly being used for different things. Because Ravana was living in the middle of the ocean, so he stole his brother's plane. Vishrava Muni's son is Kuber, and Vishrava Muni's son is Ravan. He stole his plane. Now, this very another incident is about the Agastya Muni. Agastya Muni is one of the greatest rishis the world has ever seen. In fact, when it comes to Deva Karya, Agastya Muni does amazing activities. Like, for example, he crossed over south of Vindhya so that the Vindhya doesn't rise, and Vindhya has not risen. Agastya Muni is the person who drank the ocean water. Now, we'll say this is all mythology. Well, understand one thing, that every ignorant person doesn't believe in anything within their experience. Like, if you want to, you know, there is a general saying that don't argue with a fool because they are going to beat you down with experience. So that's logic holds here. So people who do not know, there's no point in discussing that. But people who have read the Shastra will know what Agastya had done. Agastya drank the whole ocean water and digested it. And then to refill the ocean, Ganga had to come down. And all the rivers, like for example, from the Paschim direction, Varunalaya, in Sanskrit it's called Varunalaya. That's where the ocean, the rivers of Europe fill the ocean over there. So because the ocean water is evaporating and then again filling, this is cycle going on, consistent cycle going on. And these are the stories. If you accept everything else as correct, most of the things are 99% are correct, then 1% you may not have the experience. But then the logic of inference works over there. You know. Let me show you another picture, which you will really love it. I'll have to stop the sharing and again share again. Okay, just give me a second. So this is to completely debunk the theory that we are the only ones who have invented planes, or people don't visit here from planet, and also this world, we have dominion, we control, and nobody else controls. This is all bogus theory, not accepted by Veda, Purana, Mahabharat, Ramayan, and all four are scientifically verified books. Let me just share it with you again. Mm, share again. You see my screen actually, and now I'm going to go on the left side. Okay. Now these are general images they have shown. If you can see my image on this right side, do you see that a temple is being shown there? Uh, uh, Let me just again. It's been sorry about that today. I'm just trying to. Okay. Now, just watch the image of this temple. You know, this image, and this image is. I'll come to all the questions. Actually, I'm noting down all the questions. And UFOs are a reality, not any image or anything. The unidentified flying object is for the American radars. Okay, for us, our information comes from Ramayana Mahabharat, and it is absolutely real. We are not called UFO, we call it Viman. Viman do come from other planets. It's a regular feature. There are many parts of Earth we do not know. And but from Ramayana and Mahabharata, we find out those places. Like for example, Durge Kantara Vasini. Durga lives in Durgam Kshetra. You know, Nityam Vasasi Patale Yuddhe Jaisi Danavan. Durga Devi always lives in Patal Loka. Patal Lok means South America for Earth. I'm talking only about the Earth. There are many temples of Durga in South America which are hidden, but worship is still being done over there, all over the places. So I'm not saying this is mythology. Like I was seeing one TV News 18 program, somebody went to Sitapur and trying to see whether Ashwatthama comes there. That was a foolishness. That TV show was a joke. Like if you watch TV 18, you'll see those kind of stupid documentaries. I don't like them because they don't have Shraddha. They're not read Ramayana, they don't read Mahabharat, and they're thinking that Ashwatthama is a foolish person. He's going to see your cameras and everything, and he'll come there to give you an autograph. It's not going to happen. So all those things I do not trust. But if it is written in Ramayana Mahabharat, then it must be a fact. Look at the temple which I'm showing you, Chenna Kesava Temple. It's a very famous temple, and the image, you just see the image of the temple. Why is that every single temple or a place of worship is pointed in the upward direction to direct our energies. When we pray over there, to direct our energies so that it crosses the earth layer, and in our mind it reaches a higher level. Every single flame, like when you see a flame, it has a very curved feature which pointed at the top for many reasons, science, maybe atmospheric pressure, and all those things are there where the flame tapers in the top. But what is mentioned in Ramayana Mahabharata, Agni is the way to carry our prayers to the Devaloka. That's why we Agni. Sanatan Dharma is so scientific. Every single element that you offer, you offer dhoop, dweep, arga. Deep is the Agni, arga, and then you offer pushpa and vastra, and then arga you offer chamar seva and vejan seva. These are different things you offer in the arti to welcome someone superior to us into a home and our hearts. That's the purpose of the arti. So scientific. Now the whole temple is made as an offering to the deva. So it is also a vimana because you use your prayers to transcend the nature. So it's a science again. It's a science, and whether you do, nowadays the namaste has become very popular, and so the information that is given to us, the purpose and why. So why do you need a plane to go somewhere? So that you can go quickly, Do your work and come back. That's exactly Devatas use this Viman for. All our temples are a resembling of that. This temple I purposely chose that how scientific is the building of the temple, you know. And then there are uh, the entire Amazon forest is filled with the proofs of planes, filled with the proofs of planes. And there's a whole Vimana Shastra. The Amazon forest is hidden. Now I'll show you also the Aztec temples, and let me just search it, Aztec temples. And these are all the regular Google searches I'm doing. I'm not even trying to manufacture here anything. You can see it is, but I'm giving a story from Ramayana and Mahabharat that is Ashtak, eight directions. Who has eight directions? Every temple, every special place, including a parliament or any other place in the old times, had eight directions. Ashtadigapal. Only Sri Ram is called Dashadikpal, that he controls 10 directions. Today is Ram Navami because there is a hidden element of the space and also the patal. Only Sri Ram controls or Vishnu controls those, which are beyond us. Three dimensions are within us, but fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions are beyond us. So let me just show you Aztec temples. You'll be so happy to see that because people generally they think that it is just a Aztec temples. It is just in India. It is Aztec temples are now. Okay, hold on. Just again, I have to share it again. So bear with me and thank you so much for all of you being staying with me, having patience. Okay, can you see my screen now? Aztec temple. Now the look at the structures of each of these temples. Look at the structures. It's a small screen, and let me see if I can. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you can see a bigger picture now, Aztec temple. So if you see this entire images, see the formation, same like the old temple I showed you, the earlier temple of uh, of Chinnakesav temple I showed you. Same thing, same thing being shown here. Same structure like a old temple. Why? All these temples are the same. All have the same structure. Why is that? It must be resembling something else. That just like the Vimana of other people come to this planet, we make a structure because see, understand imagination. People think we can imagine things, and our shastras are very clear. Unless we have seen something, we cannot imagine them. You know, imagining something without seeing them is something else. It's a mental problem. But if somebody has taken darshan, like has seen them, and then when they are not there, then they are imagining, visualizing them. Okay, that's a different thing. So these are visualizations, not wild imaginations. That means somebody had seen these structures and reconstructing them. Now I'll give you a beautiful example of Dwarka. Now Dwarka, in my new book which is coming out will shortly, I keep promoting my book, but it's going to come out. In that book I have given the construction of the city of Dwarka. And one book which is already out, the Global Footprint of Ramayana from Kapoth.in. Do buy it. And if you're in the US and other places, you can also check out One Arrow, One Kill on search Sattology on Amazon. You'll see all my books there. So, so in that book, the Ayodhya city is mentioned to be a city of skyscrapers. Now, today you go, nothing you'll find there because the story is very old. 24th Treta Yuga. It's a long time has passed. Dwarka, I can prove it to you. One of the shows I'll do that whatever they show on the TV and nothing is nothing they are showing yet. Dwarka is a huge city, huge city. It's almost like 12 yojana long and almost 8 yojana wide. One yojana is approximately 8 miles. It's a huge city, much. It is twice the size of New York City. It's so big, you know. So it's a huge city, and probably if you include the Greater Delhi, the Dwarka will be same size as the Greater Delhi in India, and so it's a huge city. But we are not able to find out. But we have an idea, and we can search it because it's a geographical landmark. You can search it. Anything is on Earth, you can search it. Probably our Sattology team, one of the Sattology teams, will they be able to definitely do it. Now, if you look at the images of this Vimana, all these buildings, and these are not in India, these are in Mexico. Why the ancient temples in Mexico resembling temples in India? Why? Because it's coming from the same source. Because Vimana means in Sanskrit also means obviously a plane in English, simple English language, but Vimana also means a, a, a vehicle through which you can travel with your mind, intelligence, and senses to a different location. You know, so there are mantra-based Vimana also, which you can travel and take your subtle body somewhere else. It's a much deeper meaning, and that's how these different places are there. And I'm just showing you the tip of the iceberg. There are more than 6,000 references in Mahabharata on Vimana. 6,000 references. It's not one or two. So if everything else in Mahabharata is true, why not this? If everything else in Purana comes out to be true, why not this information? So I really challenge the Western intellect when they say, "Oh, these are the UFOs, unidentified flight," they're scaring the whole people. And first of all, they told their people there is no such thing, which is a wrong information. Now, to hide them, they're saying U.S. Air Force is very powerful. U.S. Air Force is not even able to counter them. They are not even able to chase after them. They're so fast, and but they are honest. They're actually recording. Yes, they ran away. They ran away. They recorded. They're too fast. But they are scaring the rest of the people, making them foolish that, oh, there is no such thing and you don't have to worry about them. We are there to take care of you. And they make a Hollywood movies just like they made movie on the moon landing. And then they say, okay, this we're going to shoot it down. The nuclear missile is going to go to the. Understand one thing: human being is not that powerful. Devtas are very powerful, and Devtas protect this earth. So we depend on Indra more than anybody from the US Air Force or US Navy. The, this world doesn't belong to humans. This world belongs to Bhagwan. And if we have that mindset, we can actually take care of this world. Everything belongs to Bhagwan. Everything belongs to God. Everything, animate or inanimate. If we have that conception, then we can live harmoniously. But don't spread lies that UFO, don't scare people on UFOs. It's a reality. As a Hindu, every Hindu accept, most of the Hindus accept. Some of the leftist, ignorant mythologists don't accept, but they're an exception in any case, anyway. I'll do a show on that how the Hindu culture was first attacked by wokeism before anything else. The cancel culture first came to Sanatan Dharma to cancel it by the Western academics. Again, the foolish Western academics. So this is I'll take some questions now. So thank you all for watching because the time is getting shorter. So I'll just take the questions. So so please ask unique questions. So I'll take one. A lot of people are asking, so I'll take one question at a time. Uh, you're absolutely right, Rama Devi. You are absolutely right. The most of these people they keep asking, and I'll take all your questions together, Rama Devi ji. And appropriation, absolutely, you're absolutely right that they're trying to replicate and reappropriation until on, just like the dominion discovery claims. Absolutely right. And the Veda Vidya and Devatas are being pushed by asuras like as aliens. That's right. That's right. Understand one thing: this world can never be attacked by Daitya. Daitya is also a category of people, cannot be attacked. That responsibility is with Devta. Indra, that is Indra's responsibility to protect us. Only thing that we should do for Devta is we should perform yajna, or like Harinam or something for Devta, because that is lacking. We are not helping Devta. Devatas live on Manushya. If the Manushya follow Yagya, Tapa, Dana, then Devatas get help. That's what we are not doing. We are not thanking them for air. We are not thanking them for water. We are not thanking them for anything that they provide us. And they're too free. Just imagine the US government was in charge of all the sunlight in the world. Everyone will be paying money to us. You know. So understand one thing. Ajay Chand is asking, Majupija is also one of the mysteries. Nothing is a mystery, brother. Nothing is a mystery. We know from the Shastra that Devatas do come. We know that, and people will hate me and kill me that I'm being mythological. I'm being not. No, this is Sattological talk. This Sattology talks. We do not speak without a reference. Sometimes we will say, "Oh, there are some things you have to learn by experience." I said, "Yes, derived experience. We'll read Mahabharat Ramayan, and then we will tell you our experience. We don't know. I mean, I'm not so advanced spiritually that my visions of Bhagwan come through Ramayana Mahabharat, pages of Ramayana Mahabharat. And I learned a lot from Ajay Chandji also writes, I learned a lot from Rajiv Malhotraji's books, how West wants to understand one thing. Instead of complaining how the West did it, speak about it from your books. Like today's show is a great answer to Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan calls William Hancock and all these people who Graham Hancock who don't know anything. They can't even interpret. They're asking like a small baby interpreting Amazon pictures, and they're using lidar and advanced photography, and they earn millions of dollars for doing total garbage talks. Like I can reject their entire work in 2 seconds, and I'm rejecting that in my books also, because it's a totally, like if somebody tells me, oh, UFOs, be scared, I will never be scared of a UFO. There is no need to, because we know that nobody who wants to hurt humans can come here because of Devta. We have full protection of Devta on that one. And so only good people come to the planet Earth to supervise, to check, which is Devta, which who Indra allows. Those are people who come. They have never kidnapped anyone. All the Western theories of we have been kidnapped, we've all found out that 99.9% that guy was on drugs or some medicine, some pills, and psychologically he was not proper. So all these are theories and stories made up in for movies. You know. The Prasanna Boraji writes, Prasanna Boraji, thank you for comments. And Vimanas were made by Indians during Ramayana, not by aliens. Understand? Remove the word alien out. For an American US immigration, US immigration calls everyone out of US as an alien. So you're also an alien if you're from outside US. If you're from US, you're not an alien. But anyone who comes to this country has an alien registration number. So don't use the word alien out. Throw it out. Okay. Anyone who comes on this earth has already received permission to come here by the Devta. And all these ancient Indian guru, all on this earth and this creation to a no alien as those movies. Absolutely, absolutely right. Thank you. Good comments. And Jitender ji, thank you very much. Vigyan and Itihas encoded in temples. Thank you. Yes, Ramadevi ji. Thank you. Yes, you're right. And this guy, Jitender ji, writes the things written in English Vimana Shastra are real. I would always want you to read this show. I'm doing it for Americans, so is watching. And yes, Vaiman Shastra stories, the science is real. But read in Sanskrit or your native language, Tamil, Telugu, or any language you like. Ideally, every Indian should know all the Indian languages. Try to learn a little bit. Uh, then we have Ajay Arora. Can you please throw some light on Vimana for Afghanistan European government discovery? Understand one thing. You cannot depend on the US and UK governments to discover anything, or Europeans, because if they discover something, they're going to charge you for it. Okay, so we have to go. First of all, our first source search is Mahabharat Ramayan. It's already proved that Vimana come, and only those come which are friendly to us. Nobody is attacked. If they want to attack us, believe me, this earth is gone. So devtas control and protect us. Okay, so nobody is going to come and attack us. So, and some they do have accidents also. This shows that they're real. Some of the when I was researching for this video, I did find out that there are certain reports of the US Air Force where some of the planes which they could not explain had fallen down. The accidents do happen. Okay, but nobody was caught. That's the important thing. Then the has there been more? And Rama Devi ji, before I take this comment, I'll go back to Rama Devi ji. Japa tapa yagya tantra mantra yagya. Absolutely, you are right. Because Vimana are mental as well as physical. It's just like we call it teleporting. Sometimes you call it. Through mantra, you can travel. Narad Muni does the same thing. So yes, it's not a physical thing which you can travel. There is a mental thing also you can travel. We already dream, right? When we are away from something. Raj, why there is no UFS in Bihar and Jharkhand? Absolutely right, because everybody knows that Devta come. So nobody's surprised. Even if they see, they don't surprise. They say Aya hoga, chala jayega. Nobody cares. Only the Europeans and the Americans claim okay, because they've been preached. The church tells them, "Oh, you have the dominion over the matter. Nobody can interfere you," and they're shocked. So they are the guinea pigs, not people who believe in Rama and Mahabharata. It's a fact. When I saw the Joe Rogan show with Graham Hancock, I was shocked at the stupidity of the European vision of the UFO. They have no idea, no idea. And then these are the big scholars who make millions of dollars for nothing, for just fooling everybody or learning their own learning and teaching to the people who have been taught not to learn. So we are different. We belong to Vedic civilization. We are already, we have information. By knowledge, we are superior because we believe in Rama and Mahabharata. We do respect. We are not saying that we are racial superiority, but our scriptures make us more intelligent. Rama and Mahabharata makes us more intelligent. Everybody should read it. We want everyone to become intelligent. You know, absolutely, that's the whole point. If we had so much technology, why we faced actually good question. I Trar YT. Okay, let me answer you this question. We faced humiliation because we did not follow Shastra. That's why we faced humiliation. Okay, that's the answer to you. Shastra says when the enemy is weak, destroy them. We did not follow that. We were believing, oh no, somebody else is going to come in. No, we have to protect ourselves. So that's an answer to you. Just remember it. Good point. We should tax Americans for many things, not just this. Oh, we on English. That's right, English, because you understand it. That's why I am saying English. Okay, but I can speak in Hindi too. And Aditya Jain, Vimanik Shastra, Bharadwaji clearly mentions how the Chalak. There's Shiv Pratap ji, there's so many references. I told you 6,000 plus, and I'm not even, this is a rough calculation which I wrote on my paper. 6,000 plus references just in Mahabharata. Just imagine point out of 100,000 shloka which are available to us, 6,000, what percentage it is? Just imagine that. No? Pawan Kumar ji, absolutely right. We are not here to impress anyone. We are here to learn. But in the process of learning, we need to know what not to become. So Westerners are the people who we not do not have to become. We have to retain our individuality. Okay. So my biggest contribution to USA is Ramayana and Mahabharata. That's the biggest contribution I can do to USA. How many Earths are there in the universe which you know about? It's our YT, only one. Only one. Okay. They're like Bhumi, like other planets, but this Bhumi is special. Om Bhur Bhuva. Uh, okay. So, and I think the comments are over. No, nobody's asking any comments now. So I'll also stop here. And there is a Professor Ajay Gongade, Dr. Rajesh Gongade. Thank you, namaste, namaskar. Thank you for joining. And so, thank you all for joining today, and thank you for liking the content today. And we'll keep bringing something like that because I wanted to really debunk the entire theory on UFOs. So keep watching YouTube channel. Help us in telling more about this. A lot of exciting videos coming constantly. And do join us and join our 12x debunking mythology course. If you are in USA, Australia, any other country, this 12 session debunking mythology course will make you a better Hindu, a better practical person, and a more intelligent person. And it's completely based on Ramayana and Mahabharat 12 session. And we also have 12x meditation course. See, we have been running meditation. It's an online temple. Sattology is an online temple in US. So we have been running temple for 17 years now. Every day Harinam Japa, every day Bhagavatam class, every day Bhagavad Gita class. So do join us, do support us, and let us know because you're supporting your own family, your own temples. And we write a lot of videos and books and other things we keep on doing. Join the family, and you'll see you'll really enjoy. And there's a lot of work needs to be done, and all of us need to work together. You know? And is there? I'll just ask take two more questions before we end the show. Nishant Kumarji, is there parallel universe? Again, the whole Western question. You must have read Western books. Why there is a need for parallel universe? There are 14 planetary systems according to Veda. You know, Brahmalok, Satyalok, Tapalok, Maharlok, and then lower seven planets down to Patal, and then after Patal is Narak. 14 planets are there, 14 lokas are there. Okay, and everyone according to the qualification are there. To answer you, yes, there are 14 lokas, but Bhuloka is unique. So there is nothing like Bhuloka anywhere in our experience and according to Shastra. Okay? So don't use the Western methodology because they don't know anything. They just they're just putting theories out. Like Darwin's father was a monkey. You and I know our father was not a monkey. So we need to be realistic. And if any Americans are watching, do comment on the show and let me know how stupid those ideas are. And the question is the why technical information of making Viman is missing. I don't get the answer. At least some info. Abhishek Dubey, we will misuse it. That's why this is a problem. And we have not studied the Shastra properly. People who have studied the Shastra properly, they'll find out the only thing which is missing is the fuel. Okay? That's the only thing missing. That's everything we have. Mm. And then Vimanic Shastra reverse engineer today. There is no need to reverse engineer. If the something is available straight, why you want to reverse engineer? No plane has been caught yet so far because it will never be caught. Also, they're self-destructive, Vimana, if they get caught by humans. So we'll stop here and keep joining. Next week we'll come with something very interesting and and my answer to all the American mythologists who scare people on UFOs. They stop doing that because Mahabharat Ramayan doesn't approve of it. And Mahabharat Ramayan has more proofs on Vimana or the interplanetary travel. So thank you, namaste, have a nice Sunday, and be good. So we'll have to just thank you very much. And